نحمده ونصلي على رسول كريم أما بعد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, yesterday we started Surah Ma'un and we did the first 3 ayahs. We started with saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, have you seen the one who rejects deen? And we said it means rejects deen as in deen Islam or rejects the day of judgment, which is essentially the same thing. Okay, now who is the one who rejects deen? Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives 2 signs of those people who reject deen. Number 1, فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُعُ الْيَتِيمِ. He is the one who pushes, repulses the yatim. Yes, Rohan?
And the one that doesn't feel the urge to feed the poor.
Yes, that is number 2. Good job. The one who does not feel the urge to feed the poor. So now my question is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that the one who rejects the day of judgment, the one who does not believe in the day of judgment, does he repulses or he's bad with the yatim? Who's a yatim, by the way? Orphan, right? Yatim is an orphan. Okay. So now being bad with somebody, anyone, repulsing anybody is bad anyway, right? But what's even worse is pushing a orphan. Why? Why is it even worse? Or is it even worse? Alicia?
Because they don't have any like parental figures or anybody to rely on.
Yeah, exactly. They are weak to begin with, right? And the other thing is somebody who does not feed anyone. Yeah, that's also bad. But somebody who does not feel the urge to feed the poor, it's even worse. Why is that so? Because they cannot really return you. They really cannot give you anything in return. You know, when we give food or we can offer gifts to somebody who are close to us, our family, our friends, you know, it's just a matter of give and take. We give, we return, you know, we exchange gifts. But when we feed the poor or we help the poor, we don't expect anything in return. So now the question here is, does everybody who rejects the day of judgment, pushes the orphan and does not feed the poor?
What was the question?
The question is that somebody who, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that those who reject day of judgment, they are the ones who repulse, or they basically push, or basically they misbehave with the orphans. And they are the ones who do not feed poor, and they do not urge anybody else to do this. So everybody, how does this correlate? Like, what's the relation between not believing in day of judgment and pushing a yatim or an orphan? That's what my question is. You got it, Riz?
Yeah.
Okay, so who can answer? Inaya? You don't know? Saifullah?
I'm not really sure, yeah.
Okay. Alicia?
I think it has something to do with like the sayings of the Quran, like stuff like you should act this way and be nice to people, but I believe it's incorrect to assume that, you know, not The people who don't believe in the day of judgment aren't going to do that because there are a lot of people who are kind like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what my point was, that there are a lot of people who don't believe in the day of judgment, but they're still kind. Then why did Allah say that? That, you know, those who don't believe in day of judgment, they are not going to be kind. Because that's what Allah said. You know, those who don't believe in day of judgment, they're not kind. They push around the orphans. So these are just two symbolic things that are mentioned. The bottom line is, these people are not good human beings. Because, you know, as I said, that pushing somebody around or misbehaving with somebody is one thing. Misbehaving with an orphan is another level, right? Just like you said, Alicia, that they don't have anybody to go to, right? So they are really bottom low. And Allah said they don't believe in day of judgment. She's?
Yes.
Okay. So why would Allah say that those people who don't believe in day of judgment, those are the most unkind people? Are they?
Wait, can you repeat it again?
So people who don't believe in day of judgment, they are the ones who, so one thing, we start the surah, think about it. We start the surah by saying, people, have you seen those who don't believe in day of judgment? Think about, like, you are in a big somewhere, you are in a place where there are a lot of people, market, for example, and somebody asked you, have you seen that person? And you say, which person? And then say, the one who pushes the yatim, the one who pushes the orphan. And you say, oh, that person, okay. So Allah is asking, first question Allah asked, do you know the person that who does not believe in day of judgment? Now, not believing in day of judgment is the matter of belief. It's in the heart. I cannot tell if somebody believes in day of judgment or not. I cannot see that, right? But what I can see is somebody who is not kind. That's what I see, right? So the question was, do everyone who does not believe in day of judgment is unkind?
No, because even if they don't believe in the day of judgment, as you said before, they're still kind. Like you can see people helping out the homeless down in the streets. It doesn't matter if you if you believe that they like in the day of judgment or not.
Okay, then why did Allah say that these people, they don't believe in the day of judgment? Alicia?
I think it has to do something with basically the idea they could do whatever they want and they would not have to repent for it, basically. Like you could be bad, but you won't get anything out of it at the end of the day. You'll just move on in the end.
Absolutely, very good point. Absolutely, very nice. Inaya or Saifullah, also you raise your hand. Who wants to say something?
Adding to that, they don't fear Allah.
Yeah, absolutely. And now answering to that question, Briz, you also want to share something.
Yeah, so basically I was gonna like add to what she said about how it doesn't like matter if you like believe in the day of judgment or not. Like you can still be nice and feed the orphans, but probably when it says in the Quran like that is the one, it could be talking about like maybe like those people who were like cruel back then, and so they were probably idol worshippers and they were cruel to people. So maybe it could be talking about that.
Okay, yeah, and absolutely, you know, people, it also kind of talks about people of Quraysh who were idol worshippers. You're right. So in my mind, and that is, again, that's what I understood and I heard different scholars talk about it. So mostly there are two things. Number one, people who don't believe in day of judgment, they actually say that we don't believe in day of judgment, and they still do good things. They do it, but they cannot be consistent. Nobody can be consistently nice throughout their life, their entire life, until they know that they are answerable to somebody. The only way somebody can be consistently good, or considering themselves accountable, is when they know that they are accountable, that Allah will ask them. Otherwise, people have what we call good times and bad times. People have good moods and bad moods. Sometimes they're extra nice, sometimes they're not. Sometimes all the circumstances work their way and they are really good, and other times they are sad, or they are going through something and they may not be nice. But when you believe in the day of judgment, when you know that one day you'll be standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you will even be nice on your bad days, when you cannot be a bad person, even when you're going through some bad stuff your own self. Got it? That was number one. Number two is, now think about somebody who actually says that he believes in the day of judgment and he's a Muslim, but he still does those things. He's unkind to people and he does not feed the poor. And very interesting thing here is that Allah did not say feed your food to the poor. It actually says the poor's food. Ta'amil miskin means the food that actually belonged to the miskin. It never was yours to begin with. Whatever food we gave to the miskin, to the poor, that was theirs to begin with. It wasn't ours anyway. Allah gave it to us so that we can give it to the poor. When we don't give it to the poor, it just goes some other way. So never think that whatever we are giving to the poor, whether it's a charity, whatever good deeds we are doing, never ever think that we are doing something that was ours. We gave the money that was my money. It was never our money to begin with. It was always the money, and it reached to the person who deserved it. Okay? So the two answers that are here are, number one, you can only be consistent in being good if you believe in the day of judgment. And number two is, if you say that you believe in the day of judgment, but you still are not kind and you're not merciful and you are not helping others, then you're lying. You say that you believe in the day of judgment, but actually you don't. Okay, so that was the answer. Let's go and we can start our next ayah. Just 1 second. Okay, fawail. The word fawail means so woe. Anybody knows what woe means?
It's kind of like an oath.
No, that is not that one.
Oh,
This is like,
man.
yeah, that is different. So woe means, like, cursing with a lot of what do you say? Like when you're really, really angry at somebody and you're cursing that person out of severe anger, that is woe to you. So it means you have extreme anger and you want to curse that person. That is woe. Got it?
Isn't it basically just like in distress
Yeah.
or anything? It doesn't just have to be necessarily anger.
Yes. Yes. It could be anger and distress. You're right. But it's basically cursing. It's a word to curse somebody. Okay. to those who pray. Okay, and now that's something that everybody says it's a very frightening ayah. It says, so woe to those who pray. Okay, so I just said woe means what? Curse. So actually it's a curse to those who pray. Allah just cursed some people, those who pray. Isn't it alarming, right? Why would Allah curse somebody who prays?
Probably the people who pray to the idols.
Pray to the idols? Not necessary. Rohan?
Actually, in the next ayah, it explains how like they are like neglectful or like unmindful of their prayer.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, that's exactly what it is. When we finish this ayah, we cannot read this until we complete this. So when we complete this, we'll know that though Allah has cursed those who pray, but which one of those? And again, just like I said yesterday, that this surah actually shows a mirror that we see, are we falling into this category? If we are, then we should quickly try to resolve the issues, find out what's wrong. If there's anything wrong with our actions, with our ways that we do things, because we don't want to fall into this category where Allah is really angry at these people. So let's find out. Alladhina, meaning? Come on. Who's going to tell the meaning of alladhina? Yes, Rohan?
Those who.
Those who. Good job. Whom? We did the word whom before, right? No? They. On means about. Salatihim. Any guesses? Yes, Rohan?
Like neglectful.
Salatihim. Salat. Salat kya hoti hai? What is the salat?
Prayers of whom?
Prayers. Yes, good job. And him. What is him?
Them.
Them or they. Good job. Their prayers. Sahun. Sahun means neglectful. Okay. Those who are neglectful about their prayers. Okay, so Allah just said woe to those who are neglectful about their prayers. Yes, Riz?
Aren't these two different ayahs?
These are, yes.
Okay.
These are, but that's just one thing. So I just had them together. But yes, you're right. Here, the ayah does end here, right here, okay? Okay? Okay. So those who are neglectful about their prayers. Important thing, 2 or 3 important things in this ayah. Alladhina already meant those who. The word salatihim already had the him in here. Allah used whom again, kind of a repetitive. Like for example, if I say, hey, you come here. What does that mean? Why did I say the word you like twice?
Probably because you're like angry and because They like really mean it for them to come over.
Could be, yeah, it could be one of the reasons, but
It's kind of hard to explain, like when you know what I mean. It's kinda hard.
yeah. Rohan, sure, yeah, Rohan.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're putting more emphasis on whatever you're saying.
Yes, a lot of times it is for more emphasis, like, you know, do you know them? Them, they are the ones. So you really put emphasis when you say that twice. So Allah is putting emphasis that these are the ones. Okay, now, who are the ones? An salatihim, and I'm like kind of repeating this, about their prayers. They are neglectful. Okay, Allah did not say in their prayers they are neglectful. How many of us are neglectful while we are praying? We think about other stuff. Our mind goes wandering here and there. We forget how many rakas we prayed, how many sajda we did. How many of us do this? I do this. Yes or no? No, does it happen with any one of you? That's nice.